Doncića kad se ga pitao, ali možda ti on igrati jednog dana u istom timu, šta misliš?
Pa ne znam, moguće. Ja ne znam, ja nemam baš neku želju da napušam da sviđa mi se tamo dobra organizacija. Jedino ako Luka hoće, ako se Luka naljuti na njih.
When you are as good as Luka Doncic is at playing basketball, respect among your peers is going to become second nature for you. We all know how good Luka is, but it is not only his skill set that makes him special. At the end of the day, every player in the NBA has got top-tier skills, but not everyone can make the game look as easy as Luka does. That, paired up with his competitiveness, his on-court swagger, and amazing personality, make Luka one of the most respected NBA players. Let's see what some of his rivals have had to say about him. James Harden may not be the first guy that comes to your mind when talking about players with similar playing styles to Luka's, but the two have more in common than you might think. Both of them don't rely on their athleticism, they have a lethal step back and can definitely score from every spot on the court. With the two of them being as skilled as they are, respect is going to come naturally. James Harden has had a high opinion about Luka ever since Doncic was 19.
Unbelievable. I'm sure he's 19, starting as a West All-Star for his first time, and many more to come for him. So hopefully he gets better, his ankle gets better, and we'll be seeing a lot of him for a long time.
Jimmy Butler is one of the rare guys in the league that still brings that old-school energy while playing on the court. That same ferociousness can be seen in Luka's game as well. The two respect each other a lot, and have gone out to say it out publicly. When Jimmy is in a good mood, he gives some of the most interesting quotes in the NBA.
Don't skip over my Slovenian guy for y'all Slovenian guy. I like ours better.
On a more serious note, Jimmy continued following the first comment by saying,
he's tough and super fun to watch. He does everything so well. He gets everybody involved. He can shoot it, get to the rim, sneaky athletic too. Man, if I had to say that, if I had to watch somebody play and me pay to watch, he goes in that category.
Damian Lillard is one of the realest players in the NBA. He is a really passionate player who is always cool under pressure, and he has transferred those traits off of the court as well. When asked about the pairing of Luka and Kyrie, as well as Damian and the Greek Freak, Lillard explained the energy and the vibes players of that caliber have when playing together or against one another.
Obviously, when we all see each other, we know what kind of night it's going to be. Ultimately, you want your team to come out on top. But I think we've all, especially myself, Kyrie, Giannis, Luka is a little bit younger than us, but we've done it for a long time now. So it's like we understand that it's going to be different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much about the stats; it's who can come up big in the moments that count and win the game.
He continued praising both Luka and Irving's scoring abilities.
But those guys are great scorers, two of the best scorers in the history of the game, and they see the ball go in a couple times. At that point, there's really nothing you can do about it.
It must be a really cool feeling to become your favorite player's favorite player. Well, not everybody knows about it, but Luka certainly does. Growing up, Luka was a huge fan of LeBron James. Fast forward 2 decades later. And today LeBron James is a huge fan of Luka Doncic, and you may ask why.
Because I love everything about his game, love everything about him. The way he plays the game reminds me of the way I play the game. We're triple threats. We rebound, we pass, which is the number one thing on our mind, trying to keep our teammates engaged and keep our teammates feeling good out on the floor, keeping our teammates in rhythm. And we'll put 40 on you too if you disrespect us.
Despite leaving the game against the Miami Heat early due to an injury, Luka Doncic still managed to get his respect from that night's opposing big man, Bam Adebayo. Bam kept it brief and simple.
He's special. He doesn't let anybody speed him up, and he plays at his own pace. He's one of those guys that's really unique. He's not really fast. He just does really a lot of special things, and he's a big part of why Dallas is top in the West right now.
Kyrie Irving is definitely the biggest superstar that Luka has had as a teammate during his NBA career. Pairing up players of their caliber can be a double-edged sword and can either make you a championship contender or kill your squad and the team's chemistry. However, Luka and Kyrie seem to have been playing off of each other just fine, and Kyrie has gone public to support this claim.
We kind of know each other's
spaces on the floor or spots on the floor, and we have the utmost respect for one another, but also we know when to give each other confidence. And it's not just me and Luka, it's the whole entire team, but a lot of visibility is going to be on us and our leadership, so we relish in that responsibility. And he's been doing it here for the last 6 years, so me coming in and just being a valuable piece for the team and alongside him to alleviate some pressure, I feel like I'm doing a great job, but at the end of the day, I still feel like we can get better. And our chemistry will continue to develop the more pressure situations we're in and tougher teams we play. But we've had our fair share of tests, and I think we can evaluate that we've done well, but we can still do better.
If there has to be a player that is going to be crowned as Luka Doncic's biggest rival, that would most likely be Devin Booker. Although Luka seems to get the better of Booker and the Suns most of the time, there have been some cases where Devin has won the battle as well. All their matchups have brought up tremendous intensity on the court and have given us some memorable moments and memes as well. However, off the court, the two have respect for one another, and it is evident. When asked about what makes Luka so difficult to guard, Booker explained,
I mean, he does everything. You know, there's no weakness offensively. You know, if he's scoring in bunches, you know, he's also getting his teammates involved at the same time. And, you know, they've created a great system where, you know, when you try to put two on the ball and take away, you know, his scoring ability, he gets the other guys involved and gets some open shots and easy looks. So, you know, it's that balance of, you know, trying to, you know, limit it all. And it's a tough job to do.
After Luka had a monster 32 points and 15 assists performance against the Bucks, in the post-game press conference, the Greek Freak was asked, how did the Bucks approach Luka on defense, and why was he so difficult to stop down the stretch?
I think we did a solid job to him. He's just very, very talented. He's a very good player. You know, he's going to make the right pass. He's going to make, you know, the pass to the roller, the skip pass to the corner. He's going to make good decisions. And, you know, sometimes you can do everything right and still people will have good nights, you know. And he's one of the most talented players in the league. One of the most talented players probably to ever play this game, you know. So there's going to be nights that he's going to have good nights. I'm not going to be able to, you know, contain him as much as possible. But we tried to make it as tough for him, but he played well.
The strong Balkan connection between Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic has made the two become best friends. Always joking around one another off the court, but competing hard when it is game time, their relationship is something to behold. Two extremely passionate basketball players who have a totally different way of showcasing their love for the game. Nikola and Doncic are going to be the faces of the league for years to follow. After a Denver Nuggets win over Luka's Mavericks, the Joker was asked about what he enjoys most about Luka's game, to which Nikola replied,
When we beat him and I can make fun of him.
He followed it up with a bit more serious comment.
I mean, he's my good friend, and it's always nice to play against him.
After Luka had a 50-point game against Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns, KD was asked what made Luka so impossible to stop during that game.
I mean, he does this every game. I mean, he controls the whole game. You know, passes, rebounds, scores. We kind of expect this from him at this point, right?
There is not much you can expect to get from a star player who just lost a tough game and had a 50-point bomb dropped on him. But the respect here is evident. Over the years, Jason Tatum has improved to become one of the better players in the NBA and an MVP candidate. Playing the same position as Luka, the matchups between the two are always a joy to watch. After Luka had a pretty difficult game for his standards, Jason Tatum explained the Celtics' defensive approach for Doncic and the Mavericks.
Just try to make it tough for him, right? You know, obviously a hell of a player, you know, can get any shot he wants. Just got to throw fresh bodies at him, can't give him the same look the whole game and, you know, contest and then live with the result.
Luka and the Clippers had some interesting matchups in the playoffs, with Luka giving us some of the most incredible performances ever, especially from such a young player. These performances earned Luka a lot of respect, from then Clippers guard Patrick Beverley, as well as their superstar forwards Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. We are going to analyze more of Paul's comments, more of Luka's trash-talking abilities.
If you talk to him, he gonna talk that to you.
see him
He
sometime,
not
he got
backing
it,
down,
bro.
but he a cold killer with some of the that I've heard him say.
Being labeled as the international GOAT may be a bit of a stretch during this part of Luka's career, but that is more of a showcase of how much Paul George respects Doncic and his game. We are going to have to wait and see whether this statement is going to become true in the next few years. Jamal Murray has been Nikola Jokic's right-hand man for driving the Nuggets' offensive engine. Over the years, he has become one of the better guards in the NBA, and as previously mentioned, a key contributor to Denver's success. After a win against the Dallas Mavericks, Jamal was asked about the Nuggets' defensive approach for Luka and the Mavs, as Doncic was the only Mavericks player to have a good night that game, and that led to the Nuggets beating the Mavs somewhat easily.
I don't think anybody else on their team had over 10 points. But I mean, Luka's a hell of a player, man. Yeah, I mean, to see why he balls in his hand every possession. He makes plays, he shoots the ball efficiently, he can hit step backs, he can draw fouls, he can gets at the rim. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's an amazing player. I don't know. What else? I got you.
Among all Luka Doncic fans from the NBA players, Curry might be one of the bigger ones. Over the years, Luka and Steph have faced off dozens of times, with each game being a spectacle to watch. Obviously, the two are great competitors and go the extra mile to win, especially against players of their caliber. Steph has genuine respect for Luka's game and appreciates how Doncic has managed to get better from season to season.
I mean, his size and his ball handling skills keep you on the edge the whole game just because that plus, being a three-level scorer, you have to kind of worry about everything. You don't want to get his step-back threes going, so you got to press up on him, but he's shifty and got a great handle, so he can use his leverage to get by you, and then obviously his court vision is unreal, so, he's kind of the offensive, package of being just a playmaker and a scorer. And when he's knocking down shots like he did tonight, it's tough. You kind of want to take something away from him, but he kept making play after play. He even made a couple defensive plays on the other side, a couple, steals and a strip on me. But he's been playing at an extremely high level, and he's been getting better every year.
When it comes to Joel Embiid, he either respects you or doesn't at all. There is no in between. With Luka's talent and competitiveness, you could imagine which group Doncic is in.
He's been great. He's been dominating, obviously. I was sorry to hear about his ankle, but he's a great player. And, he's asserting himself into one of the best players in the league. I'm a big fan. When you got such a guy like that, guy that can, score the ball everywhere, be a point guard and distribute the ball and make things happen. I think he's been doing great.
In a game against the Indiana Pacers, Luka made one of the craziest passes ever seen on a basketball court. Having him trapped in the corner, the Pacers thought they had done a great job for the possession. But Luka had a different plan. Let's let Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton explain the whole story.
He threw that pass against us on the baseline when he was trapped, and he jumped and he whipped it.
Yeah.
The ball, it bent.
Oh, that was against y'all?
And I was behind him.
Yeah.
He
So you had
threw
the
it.
perfect angle.
He threw it, he turned around and looked at me. I said, nah, that was special. I said, yo, you are special. That was crazy.
The feeling that Tyrese has when talking about this situation makes you think how much Luka can have other star NBA players in disbelief. Chris Paul has one of the greatest basketball minds of all time. He is one of the greatest guards ever, relying more on his basketball IQ and game knowledge rather than his physical abilities. He is a student of the game and respects Luka's game because of how fundamentally sound it is, yet he still manages to dominate the court on all levels.
Just confidence and the pace that he plays with. It's funny, a lot of people forget he's been a pro, overseas. So the game, they usually say that the game slows down for you, but it's already slow for him. He knows the reads, he knows everything.
Luka is truly a special talent. He has it all. He is big, strong, can shoot, pass, and drive, and is extremely competitive. Playing at such a high level every night, you can get used to the talent and stardom of Luka Doncic. However, his fellow NBA peers appreciate it and admire it. Being respected by so many big games from around the league is not a small feat, and is truly a testament to Luka's greatness. Being only 25 years old, he has a real shot at becoming one of the greatest to ever do it. Let's hope for the best for Luka Doncic and his NBA career.